Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eugenia, but everybody calls me Jenny for short for those who are new to my channel. And I hope you guys are doing amazing. I hope you had an amazing weekend. And so today I'd love to talk about how to love yourself. So, what does that actually mean? I know some of us, if not all of us, have heard the term, you need to love yourself, or how are you going to love others if you don't love yourself? So I wrote down 8 key points on how to love yourself. And I know there's an endless list of how to do it, but these are the 8 things that came to mind when I thought about the topic. So the first thing is treat yourself how you'd like your significant other to treat you. Whether you're single or you're in a relationship or you're married, how would you like someone, your significant other or your partner, to treat you? And when you think of the ways in which you would like that to happen, do it for yourself. So, for example, if you like gifts, if you like people or your partner to buy you things, why don't you buy yourself a gift? Or if you like to be taken out, like on a date or something, why don't you do that for yourself? Or if you would love your significant other, whether you have that person in your life or not. Let's just say, for example, you love going to the spa, or you love going to get a massage, or you would love to have a workout partner when you go to the gym. Do those things for yourself, and it will really, really uplift your spirits. It will teach you how to love your own company, to love being on your own without having to need someone there so that you can enjoy your time. And the second thing is date yourself. What is the perfect date that you would love to go on? Is it going to the movie theater, the cinema, going shopping, or even window shopping, going for a walk, going to the park, taking yourself on a vacation? Or if you'd love to do that with someone, why don't you do it alone? Other things that really puts a smile on your face in the form of a date. And just think about the dream date that you would love and just give that to yourself. You know, I know that the world will define a date as you and a significant other went somewhere and you did something together. But you can also date yourself and take yourself out, especially if you love the outdoors and you love going to new places. You can just do that with yourself. And the more you do that, obviously, the first time you do it, it may be kind of weird. It may be very uncomfortable for you, or you don't like to be seen alone outside in public, but the first time is always the hardest. And if you do it twice, the third time, the fourth time, and so on, you'll become much more comfortable dating yourself and being seen out, so that even if you have nobody to hang out with, or let's just say all your friends are busy, or if you have no friends, you can always be your own best friend and take yourself out on a date. And the more you do that, the more you will learn to love spending time with yourself, and therefore you will learn to love yourself better. The third key point is compliment yourself, especially saying words of affirmation in the mirror every day. Like, for example, telling yourself and looking into the mirror, telling yourself that, you know, I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I'm powerful, I can do this, I have a positive attitude, I am a conqueror, I am, I can overcome anything, I'm funny, I'm lovable, I can do this, depending on what is scary to you, but what you've always wanted to do. Because if you look at yourself in a negative way, in a negative light, it's going to reflect on the outside, and that energy is going to go out to people, and that's how they're going to view you, because that's how you view yourself. So if you were to change your own outlook on yourself and start to view yourself in the way that you wish people viewed you, then your self esteem will go up, and you will no longer even look down when you're walking. You'll be able to give amazing eye contact. You'll be able to, you know, conquer things and step outside of your comfort zone and try new things that you've always wished you wanted to do, but you were too afraid, too nervous to do. So it all starts with words. Like, words have so much power, and it's all about your thinking. It's all about changing the way you think and imagining you overcoming it before it has actually happened. For those of you, especially, you struggle with, for example, public speaking, you struggle with, making new friends, or just doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. If you can just start with saying that I'm confident, I'm powerful, I can do this, even if you feel nervous, the nerves will go away, and eventually you'll begin to believe what you've been telling yourself in the mirror. You believe that you are this amazing person, and sooner or later you will become this amazing person. So words of affirmation are so important. I know it may look or seem weird the first time you do it, but when you continue to do it over and over and over again, it's going to make a difference, especially in the long run. So, the fourth key point is get to know yourself so that you'll know your self worth. Basically, get a piece of paper, get a pen, write down what you like, what you dislike, what you love, what you hate, what excites you, what annoys you, you know, where you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, your strengths and weaknesses. Just write down all these things and just review them constantly so that you'll get to know what your personality is, especially away from society. I know society has this massive influence on us to the point where it's like we need to become people that we're not, just so that we can please society. We need to do these things, buy these things, engage in these activities, even if we don't like doing it, but we feel like if we don't do it, we're nothing, we're a loser. The world is going to look at us in a weird way, or they're going to think that there's something wrong with us because we're not keeping up with what they're doing. So when you write down that list and you write down your likes and dislikes, you'll be able to really see the person that you are. And the more you look at this list, the more you review all these things, the more you will accept and embrace these qualities about you, and the more you will live it out, in the sense that you won't be afraid to voice your opinion. You won't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and go against society, especially if you don't like what they're doing. So that was number four. Number five is do the things that make you happy, no matter what society thinks or says. So let's just say, for example, you love staying in, especially on the weekends. You love staying in and journaling. You love staying in and reading novels, watching certain educational spiritual programs on YouTube, or watching movies. And or maybe you like partying, you like going to parties, but you don't like going to just, wild parties, random parties of people that you don't know. Or you like to travel, whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that puts a smile on your face, genuinely and sincerely, do it. Go for it. You know? Like, just because it seems like everybody loves to, I don't know, party, get drunk, even sleep around, and just do all these things that you may not be into, it doesn't mean you have to do it. For you to do something that you're into, you don't need anybody else's approval in order to start doing it, in order to start embracing it. Just be your own cheerleader, be your own supporter, and soon enough people will accept you for who you are, because you accept who you are first and foremost. And number six is take care of your mental health. For example, when we get a headache, what do? We take a paracetamol or an aspirin. When we have backache, stomach pain, we do something to relieve ourselves of that pain. But what happens when you're hurting mentally, especially emotionally, because it's connected? The world seems to think that your physical health is the most important thing, but it's actually your mental health. Because when you're hurting inside, it usually manifests in physical pain. Have you ever overthought, engaged in overthinking so much so you began to develop a headache? That's usually what happens. It starts off with our mental health and then it leads to our physical health. So some ways in which to take care of our mental health is to journal. Journaling is so healthy. I know a lot of us don't like writing. We don't like sitting down and writing, especially for long periods of time. But what that does is it lets out all of what you're feeling, all of what you've been through, the good, the bad, the ugly, your the best moments in your life, the worst moments in your life, what you may be thinking about, even as stupid, as silly as it could be, or a great idea came to your mind and you just wanted to write it down, or a great a great quote came to your mind and you wanted to write it down. All of this, it helps us to express ourselves, and it helps us to take what we're feeling and put it into pen. We put pen to paper regarding what we're feeling, and we let it off our chest. We take it off our mind, so that it's no longer weighing us down. It's no longer weighing us down. We're no longer bottling it up and keeping it up inside, which stresses us out the most. So journaling really does help us to free the mind and to get us to go through our emotions, because it's super important, especially for our mental health, especially in the long run. And another way that we can take care of our mental health is by praying as well. For those of you who are spiritual, religious, praying to your creator and just talking to the creator about what's on your mind, what's in your heart, what you may be feeling, going through. That connection to the Most High also helps us to make sense of our lives right now, our current situations, and what we may be feeling inside, especially if it's hard for us to open up to other people, even those who love us, our loved ones. If we start by opening up to the creator, then it'll be easier to take it to someone that we trust, that who is trustworthy and loyal, that is there for us and can listen to what we have to say. And another way to take care of our mental health is obviously to look into therapy, counseling. you know, I guess therapists and counselors have a way of getting us to see the bigger picture of what we may be going through better than our family and friends and colleagues, even, because these people, they care about us, they love us, but they tend to see our situation in a more biased point of view. Whereas with therapists and counselors, they're trained to get you to dive deeper into your feelings, to make sense of what you're going through without trying to please you. Like, they don't they're not there to encourage or to enable bad patterns. They're there to point out what those bad patterns are, what those negative thoughts are, and to break it down step by step, and getting you to face what you don't want to face for your betterment, for your healing in the future, if that makes sense. So, looking into therapy, counseling is also super important you know, if other ways of coping with your mental health is not working. Because I know that, like I said in my other video, everything is not for everyone. So, you just have to find out what it is that will help you, especially when it comes to your mental health. The seventh way in which to love yourself is to pay attention to what you put inside your body. As the saying goes, you are what you eat. It's super important. I know it feels amazing when you've ordered, the most delicious pizza, or you go to these fast food restaurants and you're just, you know, indulging in your favorite ice cream, sweets, and all that. All of that is very nice once in a while to do, but in the long run, it does affect our health, especially our skin. So, a way in which to pay attention to what we consume is to obviously take note of what we consume, but also to detox. What I like to do is I love to make smoothies with fruits and vegetables. And I also take herbs like turmeric, ginger, garlic, onion, lemon, and I consume that almost every day. And what that does is it detoxes, all of the toxins and all of the bad things I've put into my body or that may be in my body. And it just, it washes it away. And even though that's not fun to do, watching what you eat most of the time is not fun to do. It is not fun to do at all, but you won't regret it, especially when you start to see, the benefits of taking care of your body and what you eat in the long run. And also just drinking loads of water and exercising as well. And the last point, which is number 8, is take care of your baggage. In other words, take the time to heal. Um, the easiest way, the easiest thing to do is to overlook our past, especially if it seems like it's coming back to haunt us, in the sense that what we went through, whether it was a heartbreak, trauma, drama with fake friends, or we went through a very, very traumatic experience, all of that, if it's not dealt with and if we're ignoring it, it will get worse. So, one of the best ways in which to love yourself is to face your past, to face what you went through, to literally replay what you went through, what broke your heart, what really had a negative impact on you, to go through it again and to admit what happened to you, and then to release it, whether it's through talking to a friend or a relative, someone that you trust, about what you went through, whether it is journaling or going to therapy about it. Because once you refuse to let your past get the better of you, once you refuse to let all of those negative emotions and all of the negative things that happened to you, the bad experiences that you had, once you stop letting that win and you face it and you deal with it and you go through all of the emotions that you may be feeling just remembering what happened to you, you'll start to get your power back. Because as long as you're overlooking what you went through, how that really upset you, even if you went through a period of depression or you are depressed, you're really seriously hurting, as long as you're not doing anything about it, that situation, you're allowing it to win. But when we face our past and we make the effort to heal, what we do is we stop giving power to what hurt us. We stop looking at it as something that has the power to destroy us. And then over time, eventually, we start looking at it as something that we went through, that we didn't want to go through, obviously, but we went through it. And now we're this stronger, phenomenal person because of what we went through. When you start looking at your past like that, you're actually on the road to healing, even if you haven't healed 100%. And that is a very, very important key to loving yourself, because as long as we're running away from our past, it's destroying us and it's having a negative impact on how we relate to other people and how we see ourselves. But when we face what we went through and we're willing to break it down and just to overcome it, we will see that we start loving ourselves, and in turn we start loving other people. So I know this video was the longest video that I've done so far, but I just wanted to tell you the 8 points that came to my mind when it comes to learning how to love yourself and what that actually means. I know there's a lot of people who, even some of us, even ourselves, it's so easy to ignore that, I don't have to love myself to be in the best, relationship. I don't have to love myself to do this, that, and the third. But once you learn how to have a better relationship with yourself, everything else will fall into place, and your life will become so much better because you are better. Therefore your life is better and it's easier as well. And there's no self-loathing, there's no jealousy of other people, there's no hatred of other people, because you have dealt with whatever you needed to deal with so that you can relate better to other people and feel good about yourself in turn. So I hope you guys, you know, take into consideration what I said. And if you have other ways in which you have learned to love yourself, or a way that you're learning to love yourself, you can leave it down in the comment section, and just share your thoughts with me so that we can learn from each other. Okay, guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.